Today we are going to learn how to embroider the snowflakes on this ornament in the shape of a heart from my Christmas collection that I am designing this year. What makes this pattern so enjoyable is the creative journey it takes you on. You'll be amazed at how just a handful of basic stitches can come together in the shape of a delightful ornament in approximately 12 hours. I've published a video where I'm showing you all the supplies you need for this project and how to transfer the pattern onto fabric. In that video, the embroidery pattern is different from this one, but don't worry, the supplies and the process are the same for all the ornaments in this collection. This applies to the sewing and the stuffing process as well. If you are planning to create this ornament, you have to see that video first. Go ahead and watch that tutorial and then come back to this one to learn how to embroider this specific ornament. Hi there! It's Stella here from Why Not Stitches, and I am here to walk you through the entire process of creating this lovely ornament. This video comes in help if you are a total beginner and need a little bit of guidance to make sure you are on the right track. As some of you might be aware, I've created a few ornaments in this collection, and my curiosity is getting the best of me, prompting me to ask the following question. Have you embroidered at least one ornament from this collection? Simply comment yes or no below this video. This is how my first ornament looks, and now we are going to embroider another ornament like this one with a snowflake design. For this, you'll need a 6-inch hoop, a calico 100% cotton fabric of medium weight, a cross-stitch needle size 26, and embroidery threads. I'm using DMC floss because it's accessible and of good quality. Now let's carefully dress the hoop, making sure the fabric is perfectly aligned without any skewing or excessive looseness. The fabric should be stretched firmly within the hoop while avoiding over-tightening. Let's start with this color of light turquoise. Cut a piece of the thread and split it in half. We are going to embroider all of the snowflakes with 3 strands. The easiest method to thread your needle is to pinch one end of the thread between your fingers, flatten it, gently pull down the thread and hide it almost entirely. Then, guide your needle between your fingers while gradually releasing the thread. As soon as all the threads have passed through the eyelet, grasp them with your thumb finger and gently pull them through. Okay, I'm starting with a back stitch. It's a beginner stitch and it's very easy to do. The secret to a perfectly looking back stitch is that you have to take the needle back into the exact hole your previous stitch ended, without leaving any spaces between the stitches. To create the small branches of the snowflake, take your needle up a little bit away, right in this spot, and pass your needle underneath the bottom stitch in this row. Pull it all the way and go down with your needle at the opposite point. Repeat these steps until you finish the whole branch. For this part of the snowflake, create 2 straight stitches that meet in the same point at one end. Then, make a colonial knot or a French knot. It doesn't really matter, just do the one you want to practice more. They look quite similar anyways. Fortunately, we don't have an embroidery police to punish us for the way we stitch. All the steps we followed for these 2 snowflake branches are exactly the same for the entire snowflake. The thing with this stitch is that it's similar to the connected fly stitch. Actually, it is a connected fly stitch, I just do it differently, because I find it easier to work it this way. And because I'm a little rebel, always changing the way a stitch is done. When all the branches are done, make a colonial knot right in the middle of the snowflake. Okay, now let me show you how to stitch this little guy. The best way to get even stitches is to work the stitches in pairs. I mean that each time you create one stitch, go ahead and stitch the opposite one as well. Let me show you exactly how I did it. Apply the same technique to all the snowflakes of this kind. Now I want to show you how to start and end the thread without any knots. The idea is to make a tiny stitch on one of the lines that will be covered with a stitch further in the process. But look what I'm doing on the back of the fabric. I bring my needle up in the middle of the line, while on the back of the hoop I'm leaving a tail of thread, holding it with my finger to prevent it from shifting. On the front of the fabric, I'm creating a tiny stitch like this. It must be tiny. Now I'm turning the hoop again, making sure my working thread is going to hold the tail like this. Then, I'm bringing the needle up at the nearest point to the tiny stitch I just did, still holding the tail on the back while pulling the thread all the way. This is how it should look. From this point, I just work my stitches as usually. When I want to finish the thread, I flip the hoop over and wave a few times around the existing stitches. If you want to learn other ways to start and finish a thread, there is a link below this video to a tutorial where I show you a few techniques on this subject. Let's see how to do the next snowflake. For this one, I'm gonna use two colors, but the stitches are exactly the same I used for the first snowflake. Here it goes, a speed up process for you to see how all the snowflakes are made with the same stitches. And this is how it looks before adding the black outlines. By the way, you can choose to work this pattern without any outlines at all. It's totally up to you. For the outlines, I'm using one strand of black floss and working a back stitch on one side of each branch of the snowflake. If you choose to work the outline on the right side of a branch, then keep it on the same side for the following branches as well. Same goes for the other snowflakes. This will create more depth to the entire pattern. If you want to follow my exact pattern design, create the outlines only on the big snowflakes. Here we go! This is how the final ornament looks. I love how it turned out. To get to this finished look, you need to follow the sewing tutorial I've made in this series. For that, check the link below this video. You'll learn how to sew and stuff the ornament. I'm so excited to announce that I'll be designing a total of 8 patterns in this Christmas ornament collection. If you feel inspired, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell button to be the first one to know when I publish a new tutorial. Thank you for staying with me till the end of this video. I love when you do that. Happy stitching and see you soon!